Ruben here with another video, and in this video I'm going to show you guys how you can shoot internal 6K at H.265 at 200 megabytes per second on the Panasonic S5. After I show you how to shoot internal 6K, stick around for a small rant on the benefits of shooting internal 6K, as well as the video that I'm about to shoot right now where I'm going to punch in and show you guys the difference between internal 4K at H.265 and internal 6K at H.265 200 megabytes per second versus 150 megabytes per second on the 4K. So the first thing you want to do is switch your right dial to manual, and after you did that, you jump right into the menu. You go all the way up to where the little camera is, and from there you choose your burst shot setting 1 or burst shot setting 2. So the burst shot settings are on your left dial on top of the camera. You'll see an I, which is actually a Roman numeral for 1, or a double I, which is a number 2. So burst shot 1 setting, burst shot 2 setting. So I'm gonna set mine to 6K on the burst shot 1. So you go here, you click OK. So now you have the burst shot 1 set to 6K. And then the second thing you want to do is switch over the dial right away. And right now we are recording at 6K. So you guys can see right up there it says 6K. So we're shooting at 6K internally. You guys can see the crop, which is about a 24 millimeter equivalent on this 20 millimeter lens on the wide angle. So there it is right there. And we're going to shoot internal 6K. And that's how simple it is for you guys to shoot internal 6K on the Panasonic S5. Now this is technically 5K resolution, but they're allowed to call it 6K because it shoots it at a 3:2 aspect ratio, which if you were to stretch that out to 16:9, it technically is 6K resolution. So you get to record for 15 minutes of video with also audio. As you guys can see, is also recording audio, so it's pretty dope that a $2,000 camera can record internal 6K. So if you guys stick to the end of this video, you guys will see that I crop in into the Havana Club bottle, and you guys will see if you can spot a difference between 6K and internal 4K. Now, if you are shooting on a tripod, you always want to turn off any in-body stabilization. I don't know if you guys can see it out of the A7S Mark II, which I'm recording right now, but it's kind of jumping a little bit. It's just the sensor trying to compensate for the camera or the subject that's in front, the movement, trying to track it. But for some reason, it just gives you a lot of jittery jumping around with the image. Where it says 6K, 4K photo mode, this is where you can make it so that when you press the shutter button, it starts recording, and when you let go of the shutter button, it stops recording. Or you can make it so that you just press the shutter button one time, it starts recording, you can let go and keep recording up to a 15-minute video, and then once you press the shutter button again, it'll stop recording. So here are your settings right here. Record while shutter is pressed, or burst shooting starts when shutter button is pressed and stops when shutter button is pressed again. And your last option is include pre and post frames after shutter was pressed and before shutter was pressed. So basically this will record a few seconds before you press the shutter and a few seconds afterwards. That'll probably drain your battery a whole lot. But if you want to just shoot internal 6K video, you want to put it right in the middle where it says burst shooting starts when shutter button is pressed and stops when shutter button is pressed again. And right now we're good to go. We're good to recording 6K. Now you got to come over to the top and move your dial to the setting which one you put it on, whether it's I or double I or number 1 or number 2, and you can actually see the crop that it creates. Crops into about an ASPC size sensor, so you're only using 18 megapixels out of the 24 megapixel that this camera has. And then once you press the button, we'll hit record. And right now we're recording internal 6K on the Panasonic S5. A $2,000 camera which can record internal 6K is absolutely amazing. Even for 2020, nothing comes close to this camera. So you're not shooting full frame. You're shooting at a crop factor of 1.3, I think, or 1.5. But this is basically the Blackmagic cinema camera size sensor inside of the Panasonic S5, and it's 6K internal, which is insane. Now, if you were to record in H.264, the equivalent of H.265 is about double what the data is. So basically, if you're shooting 200 megabytes per second on the Panasonic S5 and 6K, if you were to shoot that in H.264, the equivalent would be about 400 megabytes per second, which is insane. It's almost as much data as the A7S Mark III All Intra. Pretty insane that you're getting this out of a $2,000 camera. So now we're switching to 4K internal just to show you guys a difference while I punch in on the image. Now keep in mind that the 6K does crop a little bit, so I'm gonna go ahead and zoom into 24 millimeter equivalent because that's how much the 6K crops in on this lens. It turns it from a 20 millimeter to about a 24 millimeter. When you're shooting internal 6K, since it crops into the sensor, the autofocusing is a lot faster and it works a lot better than shooting full frame with this specific camera. So when you're shooting 4K 60p, it crops into the sensor, or when you're shooting 6K 30 frames per second, it also crops into the sensor, making the autofocus work that much better. So I do hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos like this, and I'll see you guys on the next one. I would also like to mention that these type of videos are the videos that hold the most viewer retention. So it's the reason why I got to keep making these videos if I actually want to have a successful YouTube channel. I'm going to be coming out with new videos of places that I've been to also. So I do hope that you guys do enjoy those videos as well. I'm sorry if I bore some of you guys with these boring videos of cameras or different technology gear that I have, but I have to make these videos in order to make my YouTube channel work. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos like this, and I'll see you guys on the next one.